Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. The show is about to begin.
Truth lies, shenanigans. 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 Tune in to TLS. Yeah, tune in to TLS. It's the TLS show. Coming to you live from the TLS show.
Hey, welcome to the Truth Lies Shenanigans podcast. Social commentary, hot topics, amazing guests with a ton of fun and shenanigans along the way. Welcome to another episode. Today, we have some hot topics diving into the buzz around Lizzo's recent legal battles and what it means for the entertainment industry. And then we'll have a debate on the cage match fight between Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg. And we have a special guest, Aaron Whitfield, inspiring artist and community activist. All right, let's get started. If it's your first time tuning in, we record live on Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. You can watch us live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch TV, TruthLiesShenanigans.com. And today we're back live on TikTok. We'll be checking your comments on YouTube, Facebook, and also TikTok. Just search at TLSLiveShow to find us. And our official podcast is available on Fridays on Apple Podcasts, Pods Network, PODZNetwork.com, or anywhere you listen to podcasts. All right, I've got to introduce you to my wonderful co-host today. First up, we have our nature lover, the gamer, the rock star, coming to you from Ontario, Canada, Rob P. Rock.
Hey, Rob.
What's up, my friends? Happy Hump Day. What another great week. We got together with my cousin at Windy Lake Provincial Park. Check it out on
Lake
Google.
Provincial Park. Okay.
Yeah,
That
it's
is windy.
absolutely beautiful. It's just outside of Dowling, Ontario. It didn't live up to its namesake the day that we were there. But we got to try paddle boarding for the first time. And it went
I wanna do
so
that.
well. Yeah, Joe and I
Yeah,
took
I've tried
to it
paddle
very,
boarding.
very naturally.
Yeah.
And Joe, to her credit,
Neo.
never went into the drink. I did lose my balance at one point. I was adjusting my paddle and I didn't have my eye on the horizon. And then all of a sudden I had this inkling. I was like, oh no, I'm moving. And then I just fell forward. Like I just face planted in the water.
Yeah, I'm not doing any
Like
paddleboarding.
flop?
Maybe because I'm a bigger guy, and maybe that's why I'm not doing paddleboarding. I've tried paddleboarding, and it's just not there for me.
I've
Really?
seen
And on top of that, it is a little hard. It gets taxing to balance on that.
Yeah, it is. It does.
No.
If
we
you're
were
not
for
used
our
to
first
it.
try.
If you're not used to it,
But we were out on the water for a couple of hours the first day, and it was great because people were like, are you sure this is your
Nice.
first time? And we're like, yeah, we've never done this before, but it was just fun. It was intuitive for both of us, and I think that's going to be our next health hobby. That's going to be our next health hobby.
That's your next thing.
Very cool.
Okay. All right. Our college student, model, business owner, streaming from Atlanta, Georgia, Gianni Storm.
Hey guys, I have missed you so much. I have been sick, unfortunately. I've been sick for a few days now. Like it's like maybe you guys can hear it. I'm sure you can hear it. But it's like
I had no idea.
No.
Wow, that's good. But it's like right here, like it's a sinusy thing. But I've been doing what I can instead of going to the doctors or to any like emergency room or anything, because I want to just not be sick, but I'm just flushing myself out. Maybe not with this wine, but like vitamin C, water, tea, green tea and stuff. I've been
The
just
healing
trying to
properties
flush
of
out.
grapes. The healing properties
Right.
of grapes. Well done, Johnny.
It's good for your heart, so they say. But no, I've been good though. Other than that, it's been the same old over here.
Oh, that's
Getting
awesome.
over this.
Yeah, that the coronavirus has been going around again. Apparently, there's a new variant.
It
Like my
never stopped.
yeah, true, of course, it never stopped.
That part.
But there's a new variant because my in-laws, my sister-in-law and her family, they caught it. The whole family caught it. And then I've heard other people catching it. It's been going around like crazy all of a sudden. So, and they were all vaccinated. So I think it's
That's
probably
even
time to get a booster. That's probably what it is.
Yeah, I know that the experts are saying to wait until you get your flu shot. Wait until the fall to
Mhm.
get your boosters.
Yeah, I
for
was hearing
the,
that too.
COVID booster also. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna get it soon.
Interesting.
I'm gonna get it
Nice
soon.
thinking.
All right, just
Good
in
man.
case. All right, and of course, I'm your host, Neo Nix. So, have you guys heard of the show The Traitors?
I've heard of it.
You've heard it.
Yes.
So
No.
basically, it's a really good show. So basically, you have a group of people get together, and you have these people called the faithful, and then you have about 3 or 4 people out of that group are chosen to be traitors, right? And they're secretly chosen to be traitors. And throughout the
Okay.
show,
Like a backstabber?
yeah,
Like a-
basically.
oh, okay.
Well, what they do is they actually murder people from the faithful. They call them faithfuls. The people who are not traitors are called faithful. And they murder them throughout the show. And then
So this is a reality show based off of Among Us.
similar, yes, it's
Oh
very
my
similar.
goodness.
So, and basically the faithful have to try to figure out who the traitors are, and then they banish them. I mean, I watched one, and then I ended up watching. There's only one season of the U.S. one. I ended up watching the Australia one, the English one. It's
Oh
so
my
good. I'm just like, I am like caught up in this show.
That
I
is
love
so
it.
funny.
I love it.
I'm gonna
I
have
mean,
to watch
awesome.
it.
yeah,
Since you binged it.
and you know me and
It's
ChatGPT, so I started I started trying to figure out how to do a live version of the game. So because I want to do it.
yeah.
I want to do
That's
like
actually fun.
I want to put together an event and do a live version of the game. It's like so much fun.
Like the concept of
That's
the
very
game.
cool.
That is a really cool. It
Yeah.
reminds me kind of like of Clue, but like 2.0.
Exactly. It's
upgrade.
very similar. Very similar clue. Yeah, but
I'm
anyway,
gonna have to watch
you guys should watch it. That's all I suggest. The Traitors.
it. On Hulu?
Actually,
You said
I liked-
Hulu?
It's on Peacock actually.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on
I have to- I
Peacock.
have that.
But the UK version was actually the better of the 3. So anyway, all right, off that.
Nice.
So before we
Neo
get to
and
our
his
guests,
shows.
I know I can't help it. All right, before we get to our guests, I got to take a minute to remind you guys about Pods Network. I've been telling you about it for the past few weeks. If you still haven't checked out Pods, PODZ Network yet, you're missing out on some of the most exciting and diverse podcasts around. And yes, of course, Truth Lies Shenanigans is a proud member of Pods Network. And there's a few other new podcasts you should be checking out, like the B2 podcast. 2 guys caffeinated and ready to bring you the latest news of the world, and they do it in their own way. I mean, they are funny guys. I mean, they're similar to us because they tend to have a lot of fun. And then there's the Sister Sesh
Awesome.
podcast. They're 2 sisters, Alicia and Cottis. They're navigating life, relationships, sisterhood. So if you're looking for like some fresh, new, engaging podcasts, head over to Pods Network, podznetwork.com. Aspiring podcasts, curious listeners. While you're there, of course, don't forget to download the latest episode of Truth Lies Shenanigans. All right. All right, let's get to our show. We have a really deep guest today.
Yes.
All right, let's welcome Aaron Whitfield, owner of I Am Mu.Fa.Li. His journey is a testament to creativity, resilience, purpose, from writing music and influencing fashion to dedicating over 15 years to youth development. His multifaceted career is truly inspiring. As a podcast, content creator, author, motivational speaker, minister, songwriter, community activist, many hats, all driven by love, faith, and humanity. Aaron, we
Yes.
are thrilled to have you with us today.
Thank you, thank you. I'm thrilled to have you introduce me like that. You made me sound really good, so I appreciate it.
Hey, you're
I do that
awesome.
again. Let's do that
Do
again.
it again. Do it again. Download it on Friday, and then put it on repeat.
Every morning, I'm gonna listen to that. You know?
All right.
It's
All right.
inspiring.
Well, let me start off by asking you the same question we ask every guest. What can our audience not go on Google right now and find out about you? Just
Yo,
any-
so I have just two things off the top. I'm 39,
Nice.
so I'm gonna show my age with this one. Okay, I'm gonna show my age.
you're young.
Anybody watch? Did y'all watch The
Yeah.
Apprentice at all?
Unfortunately,
Apprentice, yeah.
I enjoy. It was a guilty
Neo.
pleasure.
Okay. So
would.
my former babysitter was Omarosa Manigault, who is known as Omarosa on the show, of
What?
course.
She was your
Oh
babysitter?
wow.
She's my babysitter. Yeah, she used to babysit me when I was
Was
in
she as
elementary
evil as she
school.
seemed? Or
No, Oni was incredible. We call her Oni. And
Aw.
so yeah, Oni is incredible, and she used to bake us cookies and stuff like that. And she was she went to an HBCU by where we grew up and lived, and she was a beauty queen.
Nice.
Like she was the queen of the college. And so but she was incredible, and nice person. Then
Wow.
she would,
Oh.
she went to
you
the
know,
dark
she
side with
yeah,
Trump.
yeah.
But I mean,
She made a move. She made a move.
and but she brought it back. She brought it back. She left. She
Okay,
left it.
okay, yeah.
midterm. She left. She left,
Yeah.
or maybe she got kicked out. One of the two.
Yeah,
I
I was gonna say, what does leaving look like? Yeah, let's define leaving. But no, she was wonderful as a person and driven as a person. So, and I respect the drive. So
Yeah.
even if it did drive her to Donald, so
All right. So I gotta ask
Choices.
you. I gotta ask you because of course, pre-show, I was struggling with the name because you have the website I am Mu.Fa.Li. So I was thinking that was your like pseudonym. I knew it wasn't your real name, but I thought it might have been your pseudonym. But can you tell our audience what is, if you I am Mu.Fa.Li, what is Mu.Fa.Li?
Mu.Fa.Li, the MU stands for music, the FA stands for fashion, and the LI stands for life. And so those are the three things that years back, before when I had a whole lot of hair and just living life, those were like the three
Like
things
me,
that,
us.
yeah, life and few bills that I came up with to sort of, really just brought about who I am. I'm still a huge fan of music. I write music every day. Life, well, I have life. That's pretty self-explanatory. In fashion, is just my way to express who I am. So whether it's in black hoodie or getting dressed up, fashion is always going to play a part of my life.
That's awesome.
Nice.
So we say
Now,
fashion. So go ahead, Gianni.
no, I was gonna ask you. You in your bio, we did just mention you're moved by love, faith, and inspired by humanity. How do those core values kind of drive your creative process and impact the kind of content you create, whether it's music or writing or your podcast?
Yo, a lot of what I do is about creating community. And so whether it is what I do in my professional life or my own personal life, I'm always trying to bring people together to see, even in the midst of differences, how we have commonalities and how differences can be used as tools to create learning experiences. And so even as a black introvert, which that's the podcast that I have,
Mm-hmm.
I have a
Nice.
weird way of sort of maneuvering around life and bringing people together. I'm often that weird bridge that
Yeah.
bridges two groups together. And so, humanity influences me and inspires me each and every day.
Now I listened to your podcast, and I gotta say I really enjoyed it. I mean, I just like the stories that you tell and the way you tell them. I mean, and it's short, which is good. Little 20-minute episodes, right? And you give these tidbits of information. So where does that come from?
Yo, a lot of that is from, prior to working at Ohio State University, where I work currently at a major university, I worked at a library. And, in libraries, you have story times with the kids. Well, I can't tell these stories to the kids, obviously. They're not meant for the young children. But I almost look at what my podcast is as an adult story time.
Mm.
How can I
Mm.
paint a picture or tell a couple chapters of my life, just in general, or my experiences today for those who are on their way to work, and maybe bring some enlightenment, maybe make you mad at me, maybe make you cry a little bit, but to evoke some sort of emotion, and hopefully impact your life in a
Of course.
positive way.
Absolutely love that.
I love that. Now, I'm very curious, how does your creative process vary when you're taking on different projects? Because you have a lot of creative outlets, which is amazing, and total respect for that. But I guess I'm curious, like, how do you tackle your music versus how you would tackle a fashion project?
Mm.
Mm,
So music,
interesting.
that's a great question. Music is almost therapy for me. It is the um, when I need to pour out my soul, which is generally every day.
Mm.
Music is
Mhm.
the constant. Really a lot of what I do with music is for me. And I have incredible rhymes everywhere, phones, books, whatever. But a lot of that is for who I am. The fashion element is I started getting back into really dressing, not every day because I'm not that consistent, but 3 days out the week when I go to work. Yeah, I want to look good 3 days out the week to not for
Yes.
everybody else, but really for myself. And so a student challenged me to take a selfie every day.
Mm.
Um, when I go into work to not only
Very
be,
cool.
get more comfortable being in the front of the camera, but also just to show who I am, show my blackness, show what 39 looks like, show
Right.
what life looks like in general. And so I'm really trying to do things like that more and just, find a different way to express who I am.
And did I read on,
Kind
you
of.
talked about your music. Did I read on your website that, you create your music, the sounds were created during times of like depression and self-destructive behavior, turning pain
Mm,
into art. So can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, I have an instrumental album that I put out on my podcast. I may re-release it. And it was at a time in my life in which everything, when I talk about everything was going wrong, everything. I was depressed.
I've been there.
We went through
mm.
two miscarriages, lost my job,
Oh,
financially broken, relationships broken, losing who I am. And at that time, I could not write music. And that was the first time in my life really, that I could not write. And so I started just making beats. And the beats turned into, yes, a depressing soundtrack, but I found
mm,
little ways to put words within the beats.
Mm.
And so
mm.
and it really sort of evoked how I felt. And so when I go back and listen to it, I'm like, oh my gosh, this was me speaking through the music in a different way as opposed to writing the lyrics down. I'm using the
Ah,
sounds and the vocal manipulation to tell my story.
Yeah. So you went through
that,
Do
two
that's
you
cool.
miscarriages?
create?
I'm sorry. I want to build on what he
Yeah.
was just follow up on what he
I
said.
went through there was a 3 years point in my life where I was kicked out of the church that I attended and started.
Mhm.
And that happened. My grandmother
Oh,
died, my
wow.
sister-in-law died, two miscarriages, lost my job, my wife lost her job. Like it was
My
just a
goodness.
storm
I'm
and
just
back to back to back to back.
yeah, I've
And
been there
Wow.
before. I've
I
been there
was
before, and I
losing.
know how that feels. I mean,
Oh my goodness.
that's difficult. I mean, it feels like this just weight of like nonstop attacks on you, just like getting
Yeah,
beat down, and you just can't get up. And it's I've been there. I mean, it happened to me, and it was related to a miscarriage as well. I mean, it was part a miscarriage was part of the timing, and it was
Mhm.
just so difficult to kind of break out of that funk for a little minute,
mhm,
and it hurt. I mean, it hurt a lot. I mean, I don't think, I know women struggle with miscarriages, but men struggle with it too more than they let on oftentimes. And
Mhm.
sometimes you have to be strong for the
Absolutely.
woman in that time, and you really can't share how you're feeling about it. I mean, was that the case with you?
yeah. I didn't know how to process it.
Mm-hmm.
I was angry. I was angry, and I
I
didn't
remember
realize
that
how
too.
angry I was until years later. I was really, I mean, for those, I'm gonna go here, but I was angry with God. I
Mm,
was angry with self,
mm,
and so I was like, this is not what I signed up for
mm,
with my 20s.
Yeah.
I was supposed to graduate college and have the house, have the picket fence, this
Hmm.
wasn't on the plate, but I had to eat it anyway.
yeah.
And so, I could look back now and appreciate the music, but I call those almost my dark years because I don't remember all of it.
I
And
remember
really,
that
I'm
too.
thankful I don't.
Yeah,
I'm thankful I don't.
yeah,
I remember
yeah,
enough.
yeah. Robbie?
Yeah, no, it's. I was just gonna keep talking about the music. Just as far as the samples and the sound bites that are used in your music, do you create that yourself? Are you sourcing it from other performers?
Yeah, so I am very much influenced by like the 90s hip hop era of sampling records, and I've never been trained on how to make beats. I've never looked over the Fruity Loops. I use a program called Fruity Loops. I've never looked over the
Oh
manual,
yeah.
never done any of that. But what I do is sit there and just whatever sort of comes out of my soul is going to be on the screen, and so at that specific time, the records that I was just finding and just sampling were just it was the perfect moment to create
Mm,
when I felt like I couldn't create.
mm,
And so now that I
Mm.
sort of went through that, now I am able to write. I write still, like I told you, I write music every day. My writing has gotten so much better. And so I'm able
Yeah.
to creatively express myself in a different way. But Um, yeah, it just, life inspires the music and the art and the creativity.
Gianni?
So speaking on that, and as a teacher and a motivational speaker, what message or what kind of idea do you find yourself pushing the most or returning to the most? What kind of like underlying, like I said, message or idea that you use to inspire others to pursue their own passions?
Empowerment. It's really a lot about empowerment. Whether you are 8 years old, whether you are 18 or 28, or 38, 39, whatever it may be. I
Right.
speak a lot about empowerment because I didn't know the power that I had at an early age. I was almost just going through life, and instead of impacting life, I was allowing life to impact me. And so once I
Mm.
got to be about 32, 33, I'm like, I need to hit back at life. I need to move toward life in the way that life is moving toward me. And so I really became, very focused on intentionality,
Mm,
being very
Yeah.
intentional with my movements, waking up each day and saying, hey, who can I positively impact today? While also telling myself, Aaron, you have to open yourself up to be positively impacted by other people. So it's a two-way street.
Yes.
Just little steps like that and just finding the joys in the day as opposed to just going through the day, like that has
Yes.
significantly changed my outlook on life. So I teach those same principles of positive impact and also being able to be positively impacted to my students.
I like that.
I
I
love
love
that.
that intention. So, how do you put that into practice? Because I try to live very similarly. I had a traumatic experience with my family, and I try to bring that positivity out when I'm dealing with people because this could be the worst day of their life. I don't know. So, be kind. So, I'm just
Yeah.
curious how you put that positivity out in the world, the impact that you try to create.
I try to meet them where they are, not as students necessarily, but as people. And one of my, the message that they probably hear the most from me is that people are expecting you. People need to feel you. People need to
Mm.
experience you. And not
True.
just in a way in which they want your money or they want your talent, but people need to experience your heart, your love, your mind, your passion, things like that. And so once I sort of drop that seed and almost try to help not change their view of the world, but understand that the world, yes, there are people that are against you, but there are people that are so for you
Mm,
that
mm,
they are
mm,
anticipating your arrival, then they get it.
Yes.
They get it like I'm not just here to go to school. I'm not just here on this earth just to go from life to death. But each day, there are moments that create positive momentum that can really change the outlook of someone's life or change their lives too.
Yeah,
Mm.
it's so natural for us to just
Oh,
focus on the negative all the time. And,
yeah.
sometimes we got to remind people that there are good things that are happening. We talk about silver linings, but it's not clouds all the time. I mean, there are sunny days. Sometimes you just got to see the sun through the clouds. But it's
Yeah,
difficult
it's true.
sometimes. I want to switch gears a bit because this is Truth Lies Shenanigans, and we're all about social commentary. So, and you have a unique perspective, with your intersection of art, culture, social issues. So, recently, Jamie Foxx and actually Neo faced some backlash for comments that they posted online. His comments were considered anti-Semitic, and Neo had some issues with the LGBTQ community. Um, so, in the age of cancel culture, how do you navigate that fine line between expression and then also social responsibility? What are your thoughts on how
Mhm.
public figures should approach these sensitive topics? And also, I want to know, do you think they should have apologized?
Good question. Yeah.
Um, yeah, that's let me start with the last question. Do I think they should have apologized? Only if they mean it. I don't like false
Mm,
apologies.
mm,
Me
And I
either.
think we live in a world of performance, especially as celebrities. Well, even as
Yeah.
people, we perform
Yeah.
without the intention or without the I guess the authenticity or being genuine about what we're doing. And so um, if they meant it, sure, but if not, if you're just doing it for the money, if you're doing it for to release the backlash, then I would say stand true to your principles or what you value.
Right.
I think it's interesting that people seek controversy as opposed to conversation. I think that's
mm.
pretty much the world that we live in. And
Yeah.
so whatever you say
Oh,
may have been a jewel I dropped. I don't know,
That is a
but that was a
jewel.
I
real
That's a
know.
gem.
write that one down.
yeah.
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 But like
Exactly.
you know, everyone is looking for the controversy as opposed to the conversation. I don't need people to agree. Quite frankly, I do things personally that I don't even agree with what I'm doing. Okay. So
Myself.
like why would I need to agree with anybody else?
Hmm.
So like
Yeah.
I don't need people to agree, but respect opinion, respect the stance, and respect a different viewpoint. We're creating a world of polarity,
Hmm.
and very few of
Mhm.
us are learning how to exist in the gray in this black and white world. And so
Hmm.
I try to stay in the gray, and see both sides. I
Yes.
could see what Neo's saying. I could see what people are saying. I could see what Jamie Foxx, even though that's a whole other
Yeah,
sort of
Jamie Foxx.
situation.
I don't know. Jamie Foxx. He wasn't even trying to
That was
be.
different.
He was talking
It
about something
wasn't.
completely different. He's talking about
It
his
wasn't
friend or
that.
something.
Yep. It
Yeah,
wasn't
that was
that deep,
different.
and that's one of those terms in the black community. The they
Hmm.
is we use that a lot, but it wasn't that deep. But when people are looking for
Right.
controversy as opposed to having
Right.
conversation, we'll miss it every time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good
Totally
point.
agree with that. All right.
But
Before.
I just had
Okay, we'll
one
let you
little
get that one
question.
last
It's a
question. Go ahead.
fun one.
All right.
It's a fun one. You'll
Go
like
ahead.
it, Aaron. Who is some of your favorite musicians or favorite artists?
Oh
Pick
my
your top
gosh! I mean,
two.
top two. So I am going to go with Okay, you said favorite artist. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna put Kendrick Lamar
Hmm.
as an artist, because I
Nice.
feel like his last album that he dropped was really art, and I like how he released it um,
Yes.
on his own terms,
I agree with you on
and
Kendrick.
it was an album for him expressing him, and not necessarily for the fans, which I respect. It wasn't for the
Yeah.
masses; it was for the
Kendrick.
folks. Yeah, and so I'm
Mm.
putting
Mhm.
Kendrick, and then my second one, Rhapsody, who
Oh
MC out of
wow.
North Carolina. Yeah, I am a huge Rhapsody.
I
When
like
she drops an
Rhapsody a lot.
album, yep, 12 o'clock. If she drops an album at midnight, which is what happened on Apple Music, I'm up at midnight, getting my Rhapsody fix. So,
I'm gonna have to check Rhapsody out.
We love it.
That's
What
awesome.
type of music?
yeah.
What type of music she sing?
She's
hip
a
hop.
rapper.
Yeah.
Oh, she's a rapper. Oh, so you know her,
Very good
Gianni?
lyricist.
Okay,
I've
I
heard
never
of
heard
her.
of her.
Rhapsody, yes.
I'm surprised I haven't
yeah.
heard her. All right, I'm gonna check
She
out Rhapsody.
has like three, in my estimation, three near classic or near perfect albums in a row.
Mm.
And so her
Oh,
music
wow.
is so authentic and beautiful. So yeah, I'm a huge fan.
All right,
Shout out to Rhapsody.
we'll check her out.
Big endorsement. Big
All right.
endorsement.
So
Yeah.
that is all the time we have. So if you could just take us a minute, tell people where they can find you, and then share any final thoughts that you have for us.
Yo, get at me on Mu.Fa.Li.com. I am doing a lot of trainings, whether it be team building trainings, diversity, equity, inclusion trainings, or really how to create community. I am big on that and I can teach that. So reach out to me on Mu.Fa.Li.com. Also check out my podcast, The Semi-Social Life of a Black Introvert podcast, anywhere on Spotify, Apple, wherever you can find a podcast, I'm going to be there. And
Yeah.
so definitely reach out. I will answer back. I'm an introvert, but I will definitely hit you back.
Well, this was a great conversation, Aaron. I really enjoyed
That was
talking to
awesome.
you. I appreciate you joining
Me
us.
too.
Thank you.
All right.
You did excellent.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll see you.
See you soon.
Hit the wrong buttons again.
I thought the music sounded differently.
Man,
That was awesome.
Aaron was really good. Really good energy. I
Yeah,
like his
absolutely.
energy. He's
It
Yeah.
was.
very
Very positive
Pro-
dude.
positivity. Yeah, that was some valuable stuff. So really enjoyed talking to him.
Yeah, you were right. He is a really good speaker and how he kind of portrays his message
Yeah,
very
get-
well.
And I liked your metaphor, Neo. Just, sometimes you got to look for the sun from behind the clouds. And just, on the darkest day, you can have that
Yeah.
sun peeking out just for a moment. And it's to latch on to that moment, to really connect with that
Yeah,
moment and recognize
focus
the
on
value
the
that
good.
it has.
We spend too much time focusing on the
Yeah.
bad stuff, the negative stuff that's happening. I mean, if we can just find
Yeah.
that good and just be like, that's some amazing stuff going, then
Embrace
Yeah.
it.
yeah, exactly. All right, let's get to our first hot topic.
Truth, lies, shenanigans.
Gotta talk about Gianni's girl Lizzo. The buzz this week in the entertainment world is Lizzo. You all know her. She's we'll call her plus-sized powerhouse singer who's been a huge champion of body positivity. Well, she's facing a lawsuit from some of her former dancers. They're claiming they were turned down and released because of their weight, and supposedly were encouraged by Lizzo to do some weird things at some strip club somewhere. Now, Lizzo's been all about self-love, acceptance, embracing every body type, and of course, she is denying these allegations. But with her dancers alleging that they were treated unfairly because of their weight, here's the first question for you. Do you think these allegations are true? And if they are, isn't this just normal in the industry? Or is it different because it's Lizzo who's built her brand on body positivity? This one's got me kind of, I don't know, I'm on the fence, but I want to hear you guys' thoughts. Let's start with Robbie.
All right. So, do I think it's true? It's not outside of the realm of possibilities. I'm not going to say that it's. I'm not going to. I can't really double down on anything because there's not enough information that's been shared yet. There are allegations from half a dozen people. Initially, it was 3. Then more people came out. So, is it a cash grab or is it people coming out and saying, no, like this is truly a toxic environment? And like you
Right.
alluded, my problem with this particular story is that it is not on brand for Lizzo because she preaches body positivity, and you can't do this while privately weight shaming your dancers, demeaning them in ways that are illegal and demoralizing. And there are other
If she was doing those
implications
things.
to this. But there are other allegations. I mean, a non-payment, sexual harassment, telling dancers that it's normal to get fired if they get fat. Do I think it's normal in the industry, Neo?
I was going to
Yeah.
say,
for
Yeah,
sure.
it
I
is.
think that it's normal in the industry. But given who this is, then no, this doesn't trend. It does not check out.
All right, so
And some of the sexual nature stuff that you also referred to, just attending a performance with nude dancers in Amsterdam and to eat a banana placed in a nude dancer's genitals, pressuring one of your dancers to touch someone's breast. No,
She's
but
sick.
Johnny, if you're in a position of
Come
power and
on.
you say, you know what, I want you to eat this banana that's just tucked down here. It's like, well, no, I'm not comfortable doing that. I
Like,
pay
that's
your
so
check, and who
inappropriate.
knows? And right, if it's a party atmosphere and people are just having a good time, and then it's like, okay, so you're impaired and you're maybe saying something stupid in this atmosphere, but not recognizing the position of power that you're in.
But come on, Rob. I mean, if you're out of the strip club with sure, yeah, she's in a position of power, but she's having fun, and they came out to join her, and they're just all having fun, and she just
Go to the
happens to
strip
say,
club with your friends,
she
not
just
your
ha-
employees.
she just happens to say something like, "Hey, why don't you go eat that banana?" And she's just joking around, and then they're putting
Did
this
not
into a
say like that.
lawsuit. Okay, but I'm just saying, maybe she was encouraging them to go have fun, go do this, and
That's interesting because it reminds me of Wendy Williams. There was allegations that she had coworkers like see her breasts, like she was like flashing them or some inappropriate behavior. You guys can look it up.
Yeah.
But it reminds me of just the fact that this probably is a normal occurrence between artists and their dancers or their close, personnel. Not saying the sexual part is just like a normal, everybody does the sexual thing. But I think that the reason these allegations that are coming out, I think they're true, one. But I think they're coming out because something happened. So now they want to like come out with all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying that they're not lying, that they're not telling the truth. I just think there's a reason why they're doing this now. That's my
I agree. I think it may be just exaggerated. Like these things might have happened, right? But these people were fired, and so they're disgruntled. And so they're coming up with random stuff. Like all of the things may have happened, but as with any story, you can exaggerate the story a bit, make it seem much worse than it is. Maybe she did make a comment, "Oh, girl, you're a little fat today." Maybe she made
So,
that
Neo,
comment.
I don't
Neo,
know about that.
Are you saying? So I just need to
opening
frame
it
this
up.
context. I need to understand this. So is Lizzo getting a pass for asking someone to go ask a banana in a nude performer's genitals? Are you giving that a pass because Lizzo was asking? Let's say it was Jamie Foxx asking one of his entourage to go eat that banana between someone's like a female member. Oh, why is that a different reaction?
Trump. Or
why
Trump.
is that a different reaction?
That's fair.
Yeah.
Now that's my challenge.
That's fair. Let me get this
Okay.
comment from Jacqueline Robinson. Is it possible she considers the dancers underweight and not overweight? And she also says, would we accept this behavior in an office setting? Why would the entertainment industry be different? I mean, the entertainment just is different. I'm just going to say that. I mean, it is different.
Lizzo's been getting a lot of heat, so nobody's on her side. I feel
Now
like
she's
most
lost
people, for
half
the
a
most
million
part.
followers on her platforms.
Yeah.
But you
Yeah,
can
like
you can fire people for the way they look. Especially if you're trying to look for an actor that's at a certain, fits a certain profile or things like that.
Right.
I know there's this artist that was working at our studio, Mel's studio, and they're picking the dancers, but the dancers, some of them couldn't keep up with the moves, or they were out of shape in terms of they couldn't keep up with the dancing, and so you have to make decisions based upon who's going to fit ability, but also who's going to fit what you're trying to sell. So if you're trying to sell, some, I don't know, I don't want to say skinny, or you're trying to sell like really strong dancers, or you're really, I don't know, she has a brand. Her brand is women that might be overweight, and so she might be looking for a particular brand of people to sell her brand. She's not looking for the skinny girls. She's not looking for necessarily the skinny.
She's promoting.
Yeah, she's looking
plus
for
size. That's the brand,
and that's the entertainment industry, because you want to fit whatever you're trying to sell.
Right.
But she's selling body positivity. That's what she's selling.
Fair.
I That's been a cornerstone of her brand.
See, that's where I was saying I was on the fence, because I'm a bit on the fence on that, because that is true. She has been, that is her brand, and she is selling body positivity. So even if it's a skinny girl, you can't be downplaying a skinny girl because she's skinny,
Right. To me, it's that cognitive dissonance fans that are going to be faced with. To me, this is very akin to Ellen DeGeneres, the really nice girl on TV, being outed as being a really toxic and mean girl.
Bitch.
And then people have to go, okay, her public persona is this. And a lot of people dropped Ellen. And I think that we're seeing the same thing here with Lizzo, but I think there's going to be a greater fallout from this.
You think you think a greater fallout for Lizzo? I don't know. I don't think so. I think they're going to find that these are just...
the allegations prove to be true.
I really think it's going to be that these people are people are just disgruntled, and sure that there may be some truth to what the allegations are, but I believe they're exaggerated. I don't know that they're not true or they are true. I think they're exaggerated.
The truth is usually somewhere in the gray.
Usually,
just a former guest.
Yeah.
I think that if this was to do damage, it would make people probably not stick with her, like her core fan group, because they'll feel like there's a bit of self-hate there. Like if you're like for me, if I'm, right? Like betrayal, self-hate. So it's nothing to really hold on to if it's a gimmick. So, but I do want to, is it cool to segue into Neo?
Wait.
The other Neo?
The other Neo. Okay. Yeah, what did you want to say? What?
Would it Rob?
Or what did you want to say, John?
You.
Oh, no, yeah. I want to segue. So recently, celebrities have been receiving bad feedback for their actions, which makes me think if cancel culture is coming back. Even recently, with the singer, Neo, he interviewed with Vlad TV, and apparently there's this clip that's going around of, it's getting shared where Neo tells us what his thoughts on children deciding ultimately their gender. He says, I feel like parents have almost forgotten what the role of a parent is. Okay, if your little boy comes to you and says, Daddy, I want to be a girl, and you just let him rock with that. So my question it's different than this, but it just...
I feel you. I mean, so go ahead. What was your question? Go ahead. I'll let you finish your question.
Sure. Does cancel culture still exist? And should he have apologized for saying what he said?
Without a doubt, cancel culture exists. Should he apologize? This goes back to the Jamie Foxx thing. I mean, He has an opinion. And whether or not his opinion is valid, who cares? I don't know that he was being mean-spirited. I don't know that he was being, we've canceled people in the past who were trying to, attack.
Like homophobic.
Racist.
Transphobic.
Right. And those people needed to be canceled. When they're trying to attack, there's hate. There's hate behind it. I don't think there was hate behind it. He just has an opinion on it. And the opinion is not a popular opinion.
Right.
I think that there's some ignorance, and every now and then,
I don't know that it was ignorant.
Things. As people, we say things. Yeah, I do, and I'll tell you why. We say things, and quite often we need to learn from what we say, because we say things that don't fit well with the social paradigm, and we may have an opinion, but we need more information. So while I appreciate his opinion on this, you have to understand that it's coming from the vantage point of a cisgendered male. It's a place of privilege. He's normalized.
But that's an opinion. That's his perspective.
And he got called out hard, and then people explained things to him. So, whether or not his apology is sincere, I'll go back to Aaron on this. The apology is great if it is sincere. And does cancel culture still exist? Absolutely. It will always exist.
Let me tell you a secret. When I was a kid, I said I wanted to be a girl. Now, my parents could have chosen to run with that and been like, oh, you want to be a girl? Let me get you dolls. Let me do your hair a certain way. Let me do all these other things.
Right.
They could have run with that. But I am very much male and very happy to be male. And, that it could have led to, if I had a parent that was very focused on, whatever the kid wants, and the kid is. All I'm saying is he has an opinion that sometimes maybe we shouldn't just run with it and just go crazy and be like, hey, you want to be a girl? Let's make you a girl.
Right.
Had your parents run with it, there would have been real world consequences to the choice.
At the time, sure.
Exactly. And you would have corrected or changed. So it could have just been a statement, a whim, because kids say all kinds of stuff.
Right. Random.
They're curious. They explore. So
That's
if
my
you would
point.
have said that and your parents would have ran with it, and then you go out playing with your sister Olivia and you've got your hair done and you're wearing a dress, the kids in your neighborhood would have also had an opinion about this and would have shared it openly. That's the natural consequence.
Sure.
And you would have figured out whether or not you truly identified as a girl, or if this was just something in passing, because if you really felt it, you would stick with it. Or you get chastised.
Not necessarily. If you have a parent that makes it seem like a fun thing to do, and then you start saying, "Oh, let me buy you a dress, let me do this," and it just becomes a natural thing, and the parent gets really excited about it and says, "Hey, we're gonna turn you into," because I've seen some very aggressive parents with this, taking their children and dressing them up and saying, "Oh, I'm gonna," and just from a simple conversation, and then they become what they've turned into. So they basically turn into a whatever.
Love and support, but don't press an agenda as a parent.
And that's what
support the child.
That's what I think, and that's the perspective that I think Neo was coming from, because I just feel like there's a reasonable perspective, and to put it out there and have the conversation like we're having now, I think is reasonable to discuss, because there are some aggressive parents out there. So I don't know.
And it's also good to have some time to reflect and revisit your statements, especially if people start calling you out and saying, this isn't right. If you have time for reflection, if you're any type of normal human being, you recognize that we screw up all the time, and it's up to us to learn from that and to become better people.
All right. Great stuff. Let me get to this comment online. Jacqueline Robinson's online. Just looking on TikTok real quick. All right. I think it should be on a case-by-case basis. Does it ever occur to people that parents agonize for some time about this? It's not a matter of having a kid-centric household. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
All right. This is Truth Lies Shenanigans.
Lizzo's up to some shenanigans.
I don't know. I think it's a mix. I think there's some lies up in there from those. I don't know. I don't think it's true.
You think some lies going from the...
I find that they're trying to take advantage. They're disgruntled. I think Lizzo denies it. I think that Lizzo is being truthful. There may be some things that she did that were on the edge. Sure. I'm not going to argue that, but I don't think she is...
Go eat that crotch banana. No, thank you.
I don't know that. Come on, that doesn't even sound right. I don't know.
It's too specific to be fake. Like
no, I mean,
right?
No, okay, maybe.
It's very specific.
Okay, maybe.
All right, Robbie. Let's get to your topic. You want to? Let's see. You want to talk about this cage match?
Battle of the Billionaires.
Yeah, this cage match. Right. So Elon Musk posted on Sunday that Zuck versus Musk the fight will be live streamed on X, and all proceeds will go to charity for veterans. So the two tech billionaires have seemingly agreed to the cage match face-off, but Zuckerberg is actually trained in MMA fighting. He's a jiu-jitsu fighter, and
he's cut.
He holds a blue belt. Yeah, right. Tail of the tape, real quick. Elon Musk comes in at 6'2", 187 pounds, 52 years old. Zuck comes in at 5'7", 155 pounds, 39 years old. So,
oh wow,
which fight are you putting your money on?
I might change my answer. I did not know Elon Musk was that. You said Elon Musk was 6'2"?
Yep.
He's
tall.
He's 6'2", 187. Those are the latest numbers.
I mean, he's relatively tall. 6'2" is somewhat tall.
Okay, Elon
Not like
Musk.
He's like
cute. No, I'm kidding.
Cute.
I like tall guys. I feel like
Oh my
past
gosh.
6'1" is tall, taller than me.
Oh my goodness.
I choose. I'm
Do you
gonna
really
stick with
wait?
my
I got
answer,
it.
though.
Hold on. Do you really think that
I do like
Elon
tall
Musk is
guys.
cute? But I want to know, do you think
No,
Elon Musk is
no,
cute? Okay.
Oh
no.
no, it's
I'm
because
just
he
saying
broke
his height
6
is
feet,
cute.
6 figures.
And now all of
You know,
and
that
now all of a sudden he's
automatically
cute.
his
Okay,
value went up.
right. He's cuter than he was.
Oh, he's 6'2"? Man, his stuff is
Exactly.
If he were
Shut up,
5'7",
Ron.
he's like super ugly, but 6'2", ooh, now he's a 5'6" now.
Why would you pick that
I
number? Ouch.
I don't know. I feel like I don't know. Ladies in the you comment
Are you
and you
5'7",
tell them
Rob?
what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
dang, I didn't even
5'11".
know. I'm 5'9",
I'm
so
5'8" on a great day.
so Gianni
Well
thinks we're
rested.
both ugly.
No, no, I just think his height specific. Okay.
Johnny's body shaming now. I feel body shamed.
I love you guys and your height. I love you both and your respective heights. No, I like. I think that Zuckerberg would win this fight though, because of the jujitsu training, and I just always felt like he gave me like Jeff Dahmer, like serial killer, murderer, secretive.
Oh,
like he
shoot.
just feels like he would. He just feels like he would actually like surprise you in a fight. Like he might come across like humble, and then at the end just be badass. I don't know. So I think Zuckerberg. I think Zuckerberg would win.
I mean, first off, we got Elon Musk is talking about he may not be able to do it because he's got to have surgery on his back or something like that.
Oh,
or his
he
neck.
trolls all day.
And then
He's playing.
so he probably won't be doing it anyway. But I mean, this
They're
is
not.
he's out of shape. He claims he's lifting weights to get ready for it, but yeah, no, Zuckerberg.
that's it.
I was
Zuck-
surprised. Zuckerberg
was
is
ready.
ripped.
Zuck was
Is he?
saying, I'm ready August 26th, and they want to put it off till June. So Zuck's like, I'm ready. Let's do this.
I saw a picture of him. He is ripped. I was like, wow. I need some work to do. I have some work. But he also does this,
Billionaire money.
like Robbie said, he does this stuff. So,
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah,
what do you
And
think,
that's it.
Rob?
I mean, whether or not the fight actually makes it to the ring is questionable because
Doubt
Musk
it.
has a rich history of tweeting things prematurely and not following through. And what I really
Control.
enjoyed Zuck's clapback when Elon said that they were going to stream this on X because they want this to be like
Instead of Twitter, it's
social
no longer
gathering
Twitter.
platform, but social square, right? Exactly.
Yeah,
So
for those that
Zuck's
don't
response
know,
was-
for those that don't know, hold on. For those that don't know, Twitter has turned to X, has switched to X now by
Yeah.
Elon Musk. But go ahead, Rob.
So
Thank
Elon
you,
saying,
Elon.
let's use Ask to do this. But when they used Ask for Ron DeSantis's latest event, it was postponed by 30 minutes because of technical issues. So
So
Zuck's
ghetto.
back was, should we use a more reliable platform that can actually raise money for charity? I do hope that it goes through for two reasons. I think that money for veterans, the veterans are under-resourced.
It's so
They
random.
have so much money taken away from them. So, to have all the proceeds go to it is wonderful. But with these two clowns in the ring, they have the ability to match any donations or proceeds to a factor of
Thank
100 to
you.
1 and really
Thank
make
you.
a huge difference. Other than this celebrity, this clickbait, hey,
That
great,
match.
we're talking about you, but let's actually do something real. I hope that Musk lifts weights and that he's ready for the fight. And I hope that Zuck keeps training because a trained fighter versus just brute strength, a trained fighter every day.
I'm
Every
pulling
day. I would
I'm
pay
pulling-
money to see Elon get
He's
his
6'2",
ass.
so I don't know.
I'm pulling for Zuckerberg
small.
simply because I have hundreds of thousands of dollars in Facebook stock and I need it to go up.
And by show
You're
of
like, this
hands,
is
he
biased.
wants to see Elon get his ass kicked for 3 minutes in the ring.
All
I
right.
think everybody would want to see that.
All right, so Jack Moran says the musky one is notorious for letting his big mouth write a check his ass can't cash. That's so true.
Yeah, what is up with him?
Lies Shenanigans.
He's really annoying.
I don't know. It's shenanigans, I guess. Should be,
Yeah, this is more
should be
Elon
fun.
shenanigans.
Shenanigans and lies, because I don't think it's gonna happen.
yeah, Elon's just making up stuff. It ain't.
He's going to want a proxy AI robot fight. Ooh.
All right, let's get to our
That's
game
more
show.
believable.
All right, today's game is Who Said It? Read off a quote from the app, and you'll have to guess who said it. You get it right, you get a point, and the person with the most points gets the final thought for the show. For example, let's start out with the easy one. Who said the words, "Take my wife's name out of your fucking mouth"
You
in
didn't say it
2022?
right. My wife's name. He said it with passion.
Okay, say it.
It was Will Smith.
Let me come
He
on.
said it with vitriol.
Give me the Will Smith impression.
But it was so awkward because Will is such a nice guy, and when he was serious, you wanted to laugh too. He's not nice, Will Smith? Oh, why, Rob?
Rich
Take my
people usually
wife's
are.
name. Take my wife's name out your mouth.
He said, mouth? That's what he said.
Out your
Mouth.
mother
can't-
dancing mouth.
Mother dancing.
I'm trying to keep it clean for TikTok.
For TikTok. Okay.
Aw, thanks, Johnny.
Thoughtful.
TikTok. Well, in YouTube. All right.
Yeah, YouTube.
All right. So obviously that would be Will Smith. Yeah, correct. All right.
Wrong answer.
Which mega rich person said this in 2022? I didn't do it to make more money. I did it to try to help humanity, whom I love. I'll start
I
with
don't know.
Gianni. Was this Jeff Bezos speaking about his intentions to donate most of his fortune during his lifetime? Donald Trump speaking about deciding to run for president again in 2024? Or Elon Musk speaking about buying Twitter? The quote is, I didn't do it to make more money. I did it to try to help humanity, whom I love.
I kind of think it's Bezos.
Bezos?
Yeah.
All
it's
right,
Bezos.
let's check it out. That is incorrect. It was Elon Musk.
I should have known.
Elon Musk.
He was my second.
Wrong answer.
Okay. All right, Robbie, let's see. Which I'm a Celebrity contestant said this while in the jungle this year? Do you know what? I have never, ever, ever farted so much as I do in here.
What?
In the jungle. Was it Boy George, Matt Hancock, or Sue Cleaver?
No clue. I'm so glad Rob got this one.
Yeah, right. There's a 1 in 3 chance. I can't see Boy George saying that.
Yeah.
No.
I'm gonna go with Sue Cleaver.
Sue Cleaver, let's see. That is correct, Robbie.
Good
Sue
guess.
Cleaver. All right. Who said it? This is for me. I just popped very quickly to Venice on Chris Pine, but fret not, we're back. What? I just popped
To spit?
very quickly to
Oh.
Venice to spit on Chris Pine, but fret not, we're back. Was it Florence Pugh, Harry Styles, Olivia Wilde?
Well, clearly they're English.
To
English
spit on Chris Pine, but fret not, we're back. I'm going to go with, Olivia Wilde. That is
Yeah.
incorrect.
Answer.
Oh, that's
Oh my God, that's a celebrity fight I'd like to see. Chris Pine against Harry Styles. Come on,
That's
Harry.
funny.
You talking about spitting on people?
I got Chris Pine winning that one personally.
That's what you get for spitting
Yeah.
on people.
All right. Next round. Which star said via alleged leaked sexts, watching your ass jiggle on that table would permanently scar me? I'd do anything for it. I'd buy a steak dinner and
What?
whisper sweet nothings to it. All right. So watching your ass jiggle on that table will permanently scar me. I'd do anything for it. I'd buy a steak dinner and whisper sweet nothings to it. Was it Adam Levine, Harry Styles, or Shawn Mendes?
I don't see Sean saying something like that. Adam Levine, he's funny, but he doesn't. I think it's Harry Styles. I think he would say something like
You
off
think
the
it's Harry
wall.
Styles? You think you go back to back on Harry
I
Styles?
think Shawn
Adam-
Mendes.
Really?
Or are you picking
Shawn
Harry Styles?
Mendes?
I'm going with Harry. You said it's Harry
I'm
Styles.
going with Harry. I'm going with Harry.
Final answer. Oh, we were
It is
all
Adam
wrong.
Levine.
Should've said
Adam Levine. All right, so you're out of it, Gianni.
Answer.
All right,
Hey.
Robbie, if you get this, you win the game. What celebrity was this quote about in 2022? Blank is a hugely gifted comedian, but a tiny cretin of a man, and the most abusive customer to my Balthazar servers since the restaurant opened 25 years ago. Blank is a hugely gifted comedian, but a tiny cretin of a man, and the most abusive customer to my Balthazar servers since the restaurant opened 25 years ago. Is it Kevin Hart,
Oh.
James Corden, or Jerry Seinfeld? Robbie, if you get this,
James
you win.
Corden was also outed as one of the mean girls, so I'm going to go with that one.
James Corden is a mean
Like
girl?
Evan.
Yeah.
Didn't know that. You are
Yeah,
correct.
it was outed about the same time as Ellen is. being a mean girl.
Wow.
Oh, wow. I had no idea.
Good
Yeah,
job.
Robbie, I had no idea. Get the final
Me
song of
either.
the show. All right, before we close out, let's get some shout out. Start us out, Gianni.
Shout out to my rap fans and hip hop lovers, music fans. I know we're all fans of music, but specifically to hip hop fans.
Your favorite J.
just-
Cole.
My favorite J. Cole. And thank you so much, Aaron, for joining. I think that it was really insightful having you on. So I appreciate you coming on.
Good guess. Robbie?
No, special shout out to my mom, who is just a wonderful person who gives so much of herself
Aw.
to others, asks for so little in return, and she's been doing this for decades. I am proud of my awesome mom.
Wow, and she just said wow.
Yes.
Free wow.
All right. And I've got to shout out my baby sister, Olivia. It's her birthday.
We love you, Elo.
She's the person that brings you amazing guests like Aaron Whitfield. So thank you, O, and happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
All right. That is
Love
officially
you,
all
Elo.
the time we have for today's show. Really good show today. I'd like to thank all of you for joining us. I hope you learned something, maybe got a new perspective, or just had some laughs with us. Look for us live again next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and look for our official audio episode this Friday. Almost every Friday on Apple Podcasts, Pods Network, PODZ, or anywhere you listen to podcasts. All right, Rob B, close us out with the final thought for the show.
All right. Spend time with your loved ones. Reconnect with the important people in your life. Talk about life together. Share, connect with fellow humans who struggle from time to time. There's value in that extra.
I love that. I love that. All right, thank you, Robbie Rock, Gianni, and our guest, Aaron Whitfield. But most importantly, we need to thank you for listening to our shenanigans each and every week. We love you. Thank you. See you next week.